My fiance and I decided to split up yesterday. Ultimately, he told me that he has a moral obligation to his mom and that he cannot do no contact. And the hard part about all of this is that he kept telling me, if it was a choice, I'd choose you in a heartbeat. And he didn't. He chose her.
You see those men that do not stand up or that cannot stand up and tell their mom and face their mom and say, Mom, don't talk to my wife like that. Mom, you cannot talk to my girlfriend like that. Mom, what you said was too much. Mom, I will always pick my wife over you. You see those kind of men that cannot do that? They are very annoying. And they call them mama's boy or something. They will always pick their mom over whoever they are in a relationship with, especially women. They will always pick their mom over their girlfriend, their mom over their fiancé, over their wife. Their mom always comes first. It's very annoying. Have you dated any boy mom before or mama's boy before? Have you been with or are you married to a mama's boy? Do you have any, situation around mama's boy? How annoying it is. Let us know that in the comment section, because this lady came online to talk about her ex-fiance. She said when she met her mother-in-law that she noticed that there were issue and all of that, but then she had to tell the guy that, see, either you pick me or you pick your mom. And now the guy picked his mom and she's like, ah. Anyway, they ended the whole thing and all of that. It's a story time, but it's like I had to pick just few from our page, right? So let me go ahead and read the video for you all to watch. Then we'll come back and talk about it.
So my fiance and I decided to split up yesterday. Ultimately, he told me that he has a moral obligation to his mom and that he cannot do no contact. And the hard part about all of this is that he kept telling me, if it was a choice, I'd choose you in a heartbeat. And he didn't. He chose her. I feel like his one job was to protect me and to shield me. And instead, I ended up getting blamed for a lot of things. Sometimes people come into your life for a purpose. I think my purpose was to help open his eyes and see that the world could be a beautiful place. And I tried to say things like, you don't have to take the disrespect. You can be respected and you can be loved properly. But I think when you grow up in a household with all these toxic patterns, you don't really know better. But ultimately, if he couldn't stand up to her, then I had to stand up for myself. So that's kind of where we are now. So my fiance and I decided to split up yesterday. Ultimately, he told me that he has a moral obligation to his mom and that he cannot do no contact. And the hard part about all of this is that he kept telling me, if it was a choice, I'd choose you in a heartbeat. And he didn't. He chose her. I feel like his one job was to protect me and to shield me. And instead, I ended up getting blamed for a lot of things. Sometimes people come into your life for a purpose. I think my purpose was to help open his eyes and see that the world could be a beautiful place. And I tried to say things like, you don't have to take the disrespect. You can be respected and you can be loved properly. But I think when you grow up in a household with all these toxic patterns, you don't really know better. But ultimately, if he couldn't stand up to her, then I had to stand up for myself. So that's kind of where we are now. Here's your update. My fiance and his mother kicked me out of my own house while they were cooking dinner, and I was expected to be out on the town. Yesterday, I sent him to talk to his mom to sort this all out. As you can guess, it actually didn't go very well. So he leads in with, "Hey mom, it's been really frustrating that you haven't been very welcoming to Catherine." She does not take this well. She starts yelling at him. So she said 3 things. The first thing, you need a little bit of context. When Quinn and I were dating for about 6 months, I mentioned to him that I hadn't met his mother. He was like, yeah, she's a little bit weird, but we can set something up. He said that she loves to garden. Great, I have a house, let's do some gardening. So I recommend tulips, and I'm like, hey, let's go plant some tulips with her. Day of, she cancels. So as she's yelling at him, she's saying that I essentially played some mean trick on her and that I didn't have a big enough garden to plant tulips. And I'm like, how would you know? You've never seen my garden. But she's made up this thing where I've played a trick on her. The second thing she said is that I guess I didn't have like a good energy when I first met her. I don't know. This one's a little bit weird to me. When I finally did meet her, and this was a few months after the tulip incident, we were going to go hiking. So Quinn went to get her and bring her to the house. I'm like desperately cleaning because I don't want people to see that I have a messy house. So he has a key. When he unlocks the door, I'm putting shoes away. And I scream because I'm like, oh my God, you scared me. And I guess she took that as like I was never going to let her into the house or be a welcoming presence for her in the house. I'm not really sure. And then the third thing that she yelled at him about was in regards to the cooking incident. So essentially, I told Quinn, I can't be doing this. I need you guys to be cooking at her house if you want to do this because I need to feel safe in my own home. And she told him that I essentially exiled her from the house and that she was never allowed to see, the inside of the house or the cats ever again. And she was really hurt by it. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but she does have mental illness. She has undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenia. This is secondhand diagnosed by Quinn's therapist. She will not do therapy, counseling, nothing. She absolutely will not tolerate anybody telling her that she's crazy. So that's how the conversation went. The conversation that Quinn and I had to have after was probably even harder. I was like, I'm so baffled by everything that she said. Like, do you believe any of it? He said he didn't, but I did have to say, if you keep talking to her after she's said all of that about me and painted me as a villain, then I'm not really okay with that. And I told him, like, if somebody said all that about you, I don't think I'll be talking to them. I tried not to pressure him, though, like, as best I could. We did get to a point where we determined that no contact was going to be the best option. And I think that's just because of the severity of the situation, her mental health, and lack of wanting to get therapy. And also for the safety of kids in the future should we decide to have them. I will say I'm just going to let this be. And I do hear you. I hear all of the comments about, red flags and this is not okay. And I completely agree. I'm just not in a position where I'm ready to just like cut ties and kick him out. At this point, individual therapy is going to be good. Couples counseling is going to be a good thing for us as well. He really is just kind of at this point going through the stages of grief. He's not in a very good place, so I'm just going to kind of be there and support him. I do want to say thank you to everyone who showed concern or shared their own stories. I really super appreciate it.
As a man, you should have a good relationship with your mother. Okay, have a good relationship with your mother, but not the kind of relationship that you cannot tell your mom, no, don't talk to my wife like that. No, mom, I have plans with my wife. No, mom, you can't do this. I've seen a lot of videos online that mother-in-law ruin so many things. They'll ruin their baby shower, they'll ruin the wedding, they'll ruin so many things. Almost see, when you ask some people that are married, right, and you tell them, how is your mom-in-law? Most of them have things to say and be like, oh, my mother-in-law did this, my mother-in-law did that. And the thing is that it's not that the son is not aware of the behavior of his mom, but it will never stand up to, tell the mom what you're doing is BS. They don't do that. Most of them don't do that. The ones that are mommy's boy, right? It's just few men that, respect boundaries and also respect their wives, and we can tell the mom and be like, Mom, I love you, but you're going too far. Mom, no, you can't do that. I respect you, but don't do this. Okay? I feel like just few men can do that. Okay? And it's very annoying to be in a relationship with a mama's boy. I have your reaction on this video. Let's go ahead and watch the stages together and come back and talk about it. But then I'd like to know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always.
My fiance and I decided to split up yesterday. Ultimately, he told me that he has a moral obligation to his mom and that he cannot do no contact. And the hard part about all of this is that he kept telling me, if it was a choice, I'd choose you in a heartbeat. And he didn't. He chose her.
A lot of women are very delusional about who the real problem in their relationship is. It's a sign that you haven't decentered men. You're in competition with other women. And before I start, I'm probably going to sound mean. I'm exhausted. I've been writing for days. Y'all tagged me, not the other way around. Anyway, she gives us all the background and history of the mother and all these follow-ups to how she's probably an undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenic and how she's a narcissist and how she's this and how she's that. which may all be true. I've never met the woman, but what I noticed was the real problem was in her first video about her and the fiance.
So about 2 weeks ago, I told my fiance that he has to stop talking to his mother. Fast forward about 3 to 4 months and Quinn moves in with me. This is my house that I bought with my money. At this point in time, Quinn and his mom meet up twice a week to cook, and this is from about like 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. But I wasn't invited. I was actually expected to be nowhere near the house while this was happening.
So just to recap, she was the one pushing the relationship along at every stage. After 6 months, she said, I never met your mom. He sets up a time, and then the mother doesn't show up. It sounds like this is never brought up again, and life is going on, life is lifing, and then 3 or 4 months after that, so I guess after 10 months together, he moves into her house. And they start having their mother-son dinner cooking date where she can't be anywhere near her house. And she's so mad about that. But who is allowing it? Who is causing it? Quinn. Because as you said, this is your house. The only way he got access to it is through you. And now he's giving his mother access and telling you have to go someplace else. So while she sits here seething with anger at this man's mother, he is the cause. And I wish you all had time to go back and watch every video because, I mean, she is just ladening every video with all these therapy terms. Quinn was raised in this toxic household and makes it possible to stand up to his mother because she's narcissistic and she gaslights him. He seems perfectly capable of standing up. That's what he did to you when he told you to get out of your own house so he could have his mommy over. And then again when he left you so he didn't have to put his mother in check. A lot of you seem to go to therapy to learn how to gaslight yourselves better. I mean, check out what she says in this video before the final breakup occurred. Women are trying to warn her, but she knows better.
I don't think he's actually a mama's boy. Let me explain. I don't think he even really likes his mother. However, she is a narcissist, so he grew up with very specific rules.
She said she didn't think he liked his mother. Everything else aside, the mother whose comfort he was consistently placing over yours, the mother he had to meet up with twice a week for 3 hours at a time to cook with, that's very intimate. But you're seeing something other than reality because that's what you want to see, because that's what suits your narrative. Oh, he really loves me. It's just that toxic, evil harpy of a mother. He can't stand up to her. And he loves me so much and we're going to live happily ever after. It's nothing but another version of you don't understand our love. If you ask this woman to tell you about 2 several-hour blocks he has set aside each week to spend time with her, she couldn't do it. What he wanted was the house. And as soon as he got it, he invited his real love, his mommy, in there to enjoy it with him. And again, this woman is capable of standing up. She did it to his mother. But she wasn't going to rock the boat in the relationship because apparently having this man was very important to her. A lot of women are mentally triangulating themselves and they're telling you what an evil mother-in-law they have. There's a whole Just No Mother-in-Law sub on Reddit. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of toxic women out there. But even the most toxic of the toxic, even Marie from Everybody Loves Raymond, can't operate with impunity unless her son allows it. And these women are telling themselves all kinds of narratives to try to cope with the fact that her son, their man, is allowing it. That he loves it, that he prioritizes his mother constantly over you. You know, she's getting so angry over it. Oh, she kicked me out of my own house. Who did that? Your man who you moved in there. Because his mother didn't even want to meet you. Again, another sign that the guy wasn't that serious about you. I think it's so interesting how the relationship is progressing so fast on certain terms when it comes to like moving in and getting engaged, but very slow when it comes to normal markers like meeting the parents. She's the one who insisted, and when his mother didn't want to meet her, he didn't press the issue because he's always prioritized his mother's comfort over this creator's because he cared about his mother. There are plenty of men with mentally ill mothers who have issues and whatnot, and they still check them. But a lot of women allow themselves to become hyper-focused on the mother or whoever the older woman is in his life and how she's ruining your relationship in your mind, when in reality, things are the way they are because your man likes it and wants it that way because he's prioritizing somebody else. Because he never went out of the way to placate your feelings. That was the only time he got riled up when you started insisting he needed to cut his mother off. All of a sudden, he grew a spine. But he was just fine with letting you be disrespected because he wanted the resources, not you. I am very curious as to the story of their engagement. The hobosexual probably needed a new host body, and he found one. And he thought that his mother was going to move in there and they were going to have a nice, cozy home. But when you started making waves, he was like, the devil with this, I'll find another one. A lot of women are living in this same delusion. According to them, their relationship is perfect. Their man is the smartest, sweetest, kindest, most thoughtful person in the world, but his mother, but his friends, but his sister, but his family. But the truth is, A man who will allow the people in his life to treat you badly doesn't see you as his forever partner. He does not value you. I don't care if you get engaged. I don't care if you get married. If anyone in your life who is not your own child is a headache and he hasn't taken care of it instantly, he hates you. And honestly, I would give a caveat to child. I know some people have a difficult time dealing with that, but my father never left us in any confusion as to who was going to rule the house and whose side he was taking in any conflict. He'd say, I love you, but this is my wife. We are one. We're a united front. Nobody else is making the relationship hard. He just didn't choose you. And he didn't choose you because he chose somebody else. Time to get real with life. That's it. Like and follow for more.
I need to have a conversation with you horrible, horrible, horrible boy moms. Mother-in-laws in specific. And I need to have this conversation now, so come to the front. I don't know if anyone told you guys, it's very obvious that no. But did you know that when you give birth to your sons, that you are, of course, supposed to provide love, comfort, safety for your baby boys. You're supposed to raise them, obviously, right? Invest in them, guide them, teach them right from wrong. But then, this one's a crazy one, then you let them go. You leave them quite literally alone to make whatever choices that your sons are going to make. And in this case, you let your sons pick whatever partners they choose to pick. And then, wait for it, and then you leave that relationship alone. I think in general, it's normal for us parents to want to coddle our babies forever, but that is just simply not the reality of it. Like, there is no reason for you mother-in-laws to feel so bold as to just always be try to be relevant in an adult conversation that is between your son and their partner. And especially if they're actually good partners to your probably really ugly and smelly sons. I am so thankful that I was raised by the woman that I was raised by since a young age. Since my first boyfriend, I remember her telling me and talking to me about this point. She always said to me, La vagina gana. La vagina gana. Now, I'm not going to translate that for y'all, so you guys are going to have to go to Google Translate for this one. But she always said that to me. She was like, there's going to be a time where your little brothers are going to find their partners, and your sister and I, we're all going to be chopped liver. And she's like, but that's okay. She goes, why would I put myself in a position to create friction and tension between myself, your brother, and his partner? Why? And then she goes, when instead I could just trust that I raised your brother good enough to where he knows how to pick a partner, right? And then she goes off to say, I don't ever want to create friction with your brother's partners, future partners, because then that means that I don't get to see my son. And I love my son to death. Why would I put myself in a position where now I'm cut off? Because I would hope that I raised your brother smart enough and respectful enough to stand up to me when I'm stepping out on his partner. The blueprint. Everyone say thank you to Iris right now. My mom ate with that because it's true. Why would we want to go out of our ways to create such a friction within the household, especially when I don't lay with my son at night? Is that not weird to y'all? I have a son, and I know deep down that one day my baby's going to go through all the successes and failures in a relationship. I already know. So why? I just need to trust that I'm doing my job as his mother to raise him, to use discernment on how to pick a partner. And as kids, we all make mistakes. Like, I was a teenager too. I had a lot of failures in my love life, right? But I'm going to hope that by letting him do whatever he needs to do, that it's going to mold him to one day be the best husband he can for whoever the Lord chose for him already. And a message for you men. with mothers like this, it's really important that you guys start standing up for your partners. Creating boundaries does not mean disrespecting. And if said mother makes you feel like that, that's because she's a narcissist. Don't shoot the messenger. You can create healthy boundaries and you can put your foot down without stepping out on your mother. And while still honoring your partner. Isn't that crazy? Wild concept, I know. But it's because you were raised most likely by a narcissist that she's going to sit there and collapse and faint the second you're like, hey, mom, back off. In that tone, too, I promise you. Don't lose a good partner because you lack a backbone to a woman whose sole purpose was to quite literally only provide a roof over your head up until you were of age. And ladies, please understand that when picking a man, you are marrying into the family. So be very wise and think very long about what you do and do not want to deal with. And create the standard and expectation now before the altar. Because once you say, I do, that's it.
I feel like while some mothers are so attached to their son and also always peddle around their son's relationship and be like, you love your wife more than me, or I want to see you. They just want to, be the main character of their wives or of their son's relationship. I feel like it's because of the way their own relationship is or was. Anyone is or was. Because if two people are married and they have children, you see when they're having issues in the marriage, you see people telling the wife, just stay because of the children. Stay in this abusive marriage because of the children. And when women decide to stay, even when they don't love the partner anymore, it is a loveless marriage, they are there because of the kids. And now they transfer and they try to take their mind off the man and, distract themselves by loving the children. So they love the children so much that the children has now become their life. They don't have a life, they don't have anything. Because most time when a woman puts to bed, she cancels everything around her. Most of them stop working, they stop being who they are, they stop doing the things that they love because now they're now a mom and they don't even have that luxury time to spend. So now their children is now their life, 100, right? And I feel like that grows to a stage whereby they start getting so attached to the children so much, especially the boys. And now they are disturbing them where they are grown when they want to have a relationship or when they're in a relationship with a woman. I just feel like that is just the old dynamics of everything, because I don't understand whereby you as a mom, your son is in a relationship, what is in your head is for you to come and scatter the relationship. Are you trying to make your son happy or you're trying to make your son sad? And the son, the man or the boy child or whatever, or the man child that always cannot stand and tell their mom, you are passing your boundary. This is not right. I feel like once they do it once, if they can do it once, those mama's boy, if they can do it once, the mother is going to respect it. It's because they've not done it before. They've not done it and they cannot do it. That is why she will keep crossing boundaries. There was a viral video of recent that I saw. It's a baby shower video, and so they want to pop a balloon or something. Do you know that the mother-in-law went to pop the balloon even before the time, and she popped it and she walked away? Everybody saw the gender, and the baby mama, the woman pregnant, the wife, she was pissed. The father, the son, he didn't see anything wrong with it. He didn't even go and tell his mom, or be like, mom, why you should, even his facial expression should show that, mom, It doesn't have anything wrong. And if the woman should react at that point, they tell her that she's disrespectful, or you're disrespecting my mother, or she was just joking, you're taking things too personal. I feel like baby shower or baby shower is for the woman. It's for the woman that is pregnant. She's the one going through the whole thing. She wants a surprise. She wants to be surprised, and she wants it at a particular time. Right? It is not your moment. You see sometimes there's baby shower. Once the gender pops up, the mom-in-law will run again, hug his son. Not the woman carrying the baby. She will go and hug her son. So I just feel like sometimes these women are doing too much. And the main child as well, they are allowing it. They are allowing the disrespect. They are allowing their mom to cross those boundaries. That is why the mom will continue and feel entitled to be in some places. And I feel like if you're in a relationship with a mama's boy, it's very dangerous, because the woman can just say anything and they allow it, they accept it, and they do it. Anything my mom says, I'm going to do it. If you're in a relationship with that kind of man, it's really dangerous, to be honest. You would not know until you're married or you're deep in the relationship, then you realize how dangerous that kind of relationship can be, because it feels like he will always choose his mom over you. Nobody's going to tell you how hurtful it is until you start feeling it. Once you start feeling, that's when you will know that it's a dangerous thing. At first, probably when you guys are still doing your love bombing, the early stage of the relationship, it might look very cute. Oh, your mom is calling you. Oh, your mom. Once you're deep in the relationship, it's not a problem. Nobody's saying the boy mom and a man should not have a good relationship with his mother. I love men that have good relationship with their mom. In fact, a guy that is not talking about his mom or has never said anything about his mom, there's a problem. He must have a good relationship with his mom. He must respect his mom. The way he treats his mom, you should know that is exactly the way he's going to treat you. But the ones that are so afraid to stand up to what they want, you know, the ones that are beneath, always want to do everything their mom says, always want to, my mom, okay, I want to make a decision, let me call my mom first. Those ones are the ones they call mama's boy. Anyways, what is your take on this situation or this conversation we're having in today's video? Let me know your thought down in the comment section. Respectfully, Chogo Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one.